Classic mistake. You don't want to go hunting under here. They think it's a good spot because there's only an apple tree 30 yards away. And there's a couple entrances coming in a low swampy area over here. But the game trails aren't leading in here. Not anymore, they're not. You have to change your tactics when the land has been managed and things have been cut and changed. Okay. Now I'm going to take you on a walk. We're going to look at some game trails. This is an old road. I'm about a quarter-mile away from the other stand, and I'm about 3/4 of a mile away from any road or a parking area. This is a better location to actually hunt. You can see where they had taken down probably about 8 years ago. They had trimmed all in here, and there's some good trails in here, like right here. If you're looking, when you look down, you can see how the foliage has been nipped away. You can see how they bit. Deer had come through here. Now they haven't come through lately, otherwise this would have been pushed back and bowed over. But you can see how they make their way through. Right by the trees, and then they skirt their way off to the left. And I'll back out of here. That's a very lightly used trail. This one's a little bit heavier. As you can see, same thing. They nip at the branches. And this was either broken by a fisherman or by a deer. But you can see how they nipped it, and they keep this trimmed down by chewing on it during the winter. This would be pretty much a primary trail. Let's see the last time I used it. You can see how they come up this way or this way. Let's check the mud, see what it says to us. You can see some of the tracks there. I see duck. Looks like some turkey. Definitely raccoon. Lots of raccoon. I can smell skunk. There's been some skunk in the area. You can see the turkey's been coming through here. Coming down into the mud. Duck tracks. We have another trail right here. This is a secondary trail that we're walking. And you can see how a few things have been using the trail, moving the dirt, coming up. That's not deer. So they haven't been crossing at this junction of the river. But you can see how they keep coming across the way I'm walking. And then across this little trail or old road. And here's a trail that was actually cut on purpose. You can see how the grass is bent down and folded over, and laid over, and it's all drawn one direction, which means they were pulling brush out of here. You can see beaver. We're in here. They were having problems with the stream just across the way. So they set up traps in the location where they were gnawing, which is right here. And they caught the beaver and got him out of here. Now this is a good location though. If you're using this trail, yeah. Now as you can see, this is a well-used trail. And it veers off the direction that way. As you can see, rubs. There's another rub on a tree over there, right ahead, and in this way. This is an intersection. See how they can come in different directions and come through. They'll work their way through. And you can see how they don't nip much higher than probably about 3.5 feet. So this is the trail you want to watch. This was from this fall. Best way to see a trail. So I could put this on a tripod, do all the talking I want, but that doesn't mean a damn thing. You need to walk the trail just like an animal. See water. This. As you can see there's another body of water over there, and the little saddle right here. Here was this. This is a perfect spot for a tree stand. Set up in a tree. Around here by these cedars, over here. You can see how it's all trumped down. Setting up a stand, and that little cedar right there would be optimum. That would give you multiple different opportunities to shoot, either rifle or bow. And the direction I'm pointing right now, This is I'm facing, it's about 305 degrees. So this is prevailing wind coming right toward me right now. So this is a really good location to stand. This trail here is a pretty heavily used trail. It's got a lot of doe tracks, some young fawn that have just been born. So this is a good spot. It's a good area to cover if you need to hunt for game. You're looking for a game trail. You want something like this. You can see it just meanders on past as I was walking. I was walking on the trail. There's some intersecting trails that come through his way here that meet up with it, and the wind is coming from this direction here, which is the prevailing winds. So the prevailing winds are this way. When deer are moving, they're not always going to move as people think. They're not always going to move with the wind right directly to their face. They'll take it from any direction, from their hindquarters to the front. As long as they can turn their head and move their head up, they can pick up a scent. So when people think that you have to always hunt and make sure that deer, the deer are moving or your game won't smell you, the wind is a very ever-changing thing, and it will change on you on a dime. That's the thing. You have a wind that circles around. Deer might hunker down. Depends. If a wind is really bad, they might not know where a scent is coming from, so they just might keep moving and not even think about which direction it's coming from, because they can't trust which direction it's moving from. So they're going to have to depend on their eyes, and that's their secondary. Their sense of smell and their eyes and their ears. Of those three, the nose is the best. After that, everything is secondary. Everything else, if you're quiet enough, they won't hear you. If you don't move too fast, they won't see you. Sense of smell is what you have to try to beat. They can smell better than a bloodhound. So, with that, you want to make sure you're covering the prevailing winds, because they're going to try to cross, either moving into it or across it. That's why the prevailing winds are blowing this way, but this trail moves this way. And as I'm standing here, it moves out this direction here, and directly behind the camera, right up this hill. And right over at about 150 meters away, there's a nice green field. And we've seen sign of a buck moving through a secondary trail here, where he was rubbing some trees coming through. So this is a perfect location. Let's see if I can without jostling it too much. But for me, I would set up in one one of these trees right here with a climbing stand. One of the ones that is cracked right through. Probably one of those ones right there. And I would get probably about as high as I can get up, 30 feet in the air. That crotch comes a little leader off that tree, and that's where I'd set up. Alright, now we're going to go to another location. Alright, here we go. Right here was a ground scrape. And you can see this was the licking branch. It's been broken. So you can see this isn't far from the little knoll. And quite often bucks will come back and use the same ground scrape. Okay, basically at the field, but as you can see, no trespassing. This is not part of the state land, but nothing saying you can't take advantage of this field hunting on the opposite side of where it's posted, which is state land. This is key, especially in state properties. There's a nice, decent track right here for deer. It's still relatively shaped. It's probably the last 12 to 14 hours, I'd say. You can see how it's taking the trail. Following it out there. So that's where we're gonna go. Okay, so I hope any of this you found beneficial. That'll help you with your next season for hunting, trapping, any type of game that you're looking for. Pretty much, they all do the same thing. They all make trails, or they follow other animals' trails, like coyotes. They like to follow deer trails and everything. So I hope that what you take away from this is that a lot of people don't look very closely at when they're walking through the woods. They're not paying attention to what's going on, and they're not looking for tracks, especially tracks and trails during the spring season. Now, most of the trails that we saw were what they consider a fast-moving trail, where the deer, they're moving from one place to another. They don't do a lot of droppings. They're moving rather quickly. They'll nip here and there and they'll chew on the way through, but they don't stop. They don't poop really a lot unless they have the need. Other than that, they just keep on moving. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to pack up my stuff, keep going, and I hope if you like this, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be making some more. Thank you.